Hey, what is up? I hope you're doing great today. Today I wanted to shoot you a quick video and explain a question that we get all the time. And it's, should I focus on my nutrition? Should I focus on weight training? Or should I focus on cardio if I want to lose fat? Now, what I've done over on the board behind me is drawn this up in a bit of a diagram in the hopes that it makes it really simple for you to understand where you should start if you're asking that question of yourself. So let's jump over and let's have a look. The main thing I want you to understand with this is everyone's going to be at different levels and everyone's got different goals, but this should give you a starting point as to where to focus depending on where you're at, because everyone has, a different situation. So I've set it up in a pyramid format, okay? And the main thing with the pyramid is the most important piece is the base. Without the proper base, we can't build the next level and then the next level and so on and so forth. So on the base of our pyramid that we're talking about here, we've got nutrition and general movement. Nutrition is going to be the basis of everything. If you get your nutrition right and it's really good and you're eating healthy meals that make you feel really good, full of energy and feeling awesome, everything else you do beyond that is going to be even better. If we don't have that down pat, everything else is going to be really, really tough. And we're going to find that we're going to hit setback after setback, and we're most likely going to have to come back down a few levels, work on that stuff first, and then go back up. I've also paired it with general movement. And the reason why I've done that is our bodies are designed to move. They're not designed to sit in a chair all day. They're actually designed to move around. So we want to try and exercise that right as much as we can. And general movement is things like incidental activity. So think about any time where you're doing something that's not a planned training routine. Walking to the shops, walking from the shops to your car if you've parked in the car park. So don't be one of those people that drive around in the front door waiting for a car park. Just park right down the back. There's plenty of them, and then just walk that extra distance. Beyond that, then we want to look at increasing the steps and our mobility. So increasing steps, we want to just bump up that walking that we're doing. So this is where we're actually making it a conscious activity. So a really cool way of making sure that we're doing this, I'll just show you. I use a Fitbit here, is to actually track the steps that you're doing every single day. Are you doing enough? And aim to increase that over time. The more steps that we get in with something like walking, it's easy for us to do, but it makes a huge, huge difference, particularly if you are looking to lose fat. Mobility, I've paired it here because this is really important. I want you to understand a simple concept. Form follows function. All right, if we're going to jump into an exercise program, which is coming up next in this diagram, we want to be making sure that in order to do the right form on exercises, we've got to be able to function properly first. And that means we don't have restrictions and we're able to move freely around. So let's say you sit at a desk and you struggle to put your arm up above your head and push it back behind you. If that's an issue, that's going to make it harder for you to do the right form on things like a standing dumbbell press. It's going to be much harder for you to do, and therefore you're not going to get the most out of the exercise, and therefore then you're not going to see the benefits from it. So we want to be working on that at that level. Beyond that, now we're starting to look at general resistance training. This can be anything. It doesn't have to be a specific, bodybuilder 7-day split. It's just general resistance training using your own body weight. It can be things like bands. It could be anything you've got around the house. You can use buckets of water even. Anything you can think of, and we're just basing it around simple movements. Think about like squats, lunges, hinging movements, so anything where you're bending forward at the hips and coming back up, presses, or rows, anything that you're pulling towards you. So that's what we're talking about at this level here. If we're doing these three just alone, you're going to get awesome results. You're going to probably already have achieved what you want to achieve in the first place. Beyond that, if you want to take it even further, then we can start to look at things like cardio, including more low intensity steady state sessions. So these are things like a run. If we're just going for a small run, maybe 30, 40 minutes at a consistent pace, and we're holding that would be in there. HIIT training is another form of cardio. So that's what most people are aware of. That's where you go really, really fast for a short burst of time, and then you have a rest. Then you do it again and you repeat it for several intervals. So that's what HIIT training is. That's going to speed up the process of fat loss. But again, if we don't have all of this down pat first, it's only going to set us back because we're going to start to develop things like injuries because we didn't work on our mobility. We're not going to be in that calorie deficit because we don't have our nutrition down pat. It's just going to spiral out of control. Beyond that, if you want to go even further, then we're looking at specific strength and conditioning. So this is for the person who maybe wants to train for something specific. It could be a long distance run that you're doing. It could be a Spartan race, a CrossFit competition, or in my case, it's a strongman competition. So that's where you would have a program that's designed purely to get you a result for something very, very specific. So that's where you'd have most of your advanced techniques. That's where you'd have a program that's really set out to elicit results fairly quickly. And then above that, at the pinnacle of our pyramid here, is competition. Competition is where all your hard work is put on display. So that's where you're actually testing it. You're having to run really fast. You're having to move in unexpected ways. A lot can happen in a competition environment, things that are quite unexpected. A lot of things can also go wrong. So, in a game of sport, the rate of, the risk of injury is higher because we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So that's why it's super important that we've got all of this first built out and we've got this down pat so that then we're giving ourselves the best chance possible up at this level. But if competition and specific strength is not your forte, again, you still want to be following this level system and this hierarchy so that you know what to focus on, so that you can get the most out of it and you can live healthy and feel awesome every single day, because that, at the end of the day, is the goal for all of us. We want to feel awesome. We don't want to be feeling terrible. So hopefully that made it really simple for you to understand. If you have any more questions about it, just let me know down below in the comment section. And guys, I will see you in the next video.